Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Akim out there pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, and to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. It's the brother Kwara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. I want to go into a lesson. And Lord willing to be edifying, but I want to speak on, especially in the times that we about to come into, man. We in those times now, the beginning of evil times, the beginning of perilous times, but the more so as the days go by, it's going to be more evil, man. Right? A time like never before, as the scripture says, you see? And as Acts 14:22 says, through much tribulation, we must inherit the kingdom. So on our path to the kingdom, through this narrow way that the Lord have set up, we will have to go through many obstacles, man. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, he go tempt and test and try each and every one of us, man. Even the people outside of the truth, they gonna get tried too. As it says, the hour of temptation which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth, man. But in doing that, we have us in the know, we have an expectation from the Lord, right? And as he said, if we do these things, going out on the highways and hedges, being charitable amongst the body, right? Reading, studying, fasting, so on and so forth, ultimately just trusting in the Lord and doing his will. The Lord said if we do these things, his servants go eat, his servants go drink during the famine. We shall be protected. So our expectation is to be saved from the destruction to come. But the point I want to touch on in this lesson, although we expect the Lord to save us, we can't give the Lord a timeline on when he gotta save us though. You see, we can't say, well, Lord, I know you said your servants go eat. Well, look, man, my family ain't eating 2 days. ain't eating 2 days. Where you at? And you start questioning the Lord. Then ultimately, if you start questioning the Lord and not fully believing on him, and you put him in a box where you say, look, you have these amount of days to save me, you tempting the Lord, man. You tempting the Lord, and I want to get an account of that. You see, I want to get an account of that, how Israel was in a situation, and instead of them, continuing to trust in the Lord, just enduring and wait to see the Lord miracles, they gave the Lord a timeline. Say, look, within 5 days, if the Lord don't come save us, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. Well, I want to get this as an example of what not to be. For the times we coming in, because it could easily be said, well, look, Lord, I thought you said you was going to feed us. I thought you said this and that. I thought you said a standard was going to be lifted when the enemy coming like a flood. Why you allow them to grab me and my household up? You see, people going to start questioning in that day, and the last thing we want to do is question the Most High. Look what happened when we was in the wilderness. All those Israelites was questioning the Most High. Look what happened to him. He killed them, man. You see, he killed them, man. So this should be an example for us on what not to do, but more so on what to do in these times, man. Ultimately trusting the Most High. Now I want to start with this, right? Because everything already set up on when the Lord gonna save certain situations. Just let the story roll, like the scripture says, and what that is, James. Let patience have her perfect work, entire wanting nothing, man. We already know everything we going through is obstacles and tests. Just let the Lord go on with his story and pray that he allows us to endure through all these things. But let me get this real quick. This is Isaiah, just to get how everything already set up. This is Isaiah 46, and I'm going to start at 9. It says, remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High, and there is none else. It says, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. So you see, so the Most High already got the time set up on when he gonna do certain things in the earth. That's how we know how to measure the times, by the prophecies he said to look at. So also when we get in situations, guess what? It was already written from the foundations of the world. How we gonna get out, how we gonna get saved, or whether we have to be a martyr for the truth. All that is written already, man. And we not in our own story. That's, again, in order for you to say, well, look, Lord, you're going to have to deliver me in this time, or I expect you to do something for me now. Well, you writing your own story, man. For example, Peter, when he said, Lord, I ain't going to deny you. Well, that's why Yahweh Shai said, get behind me. Say your offense to me, you see? Because he was trying to that wasn't the story of the Most High that was written, man. You know, we gotta just move according to the Spirit, man. And in other words, be patient. But let me snag this too. This is 2nd Ezra 4. Just to back up that what I just brought out. 2nd Ezra 4 and 27, and I'll get into that account too. I want to get that. But it's 2nd Ezra 4 and 37. It says, by measure have he measured the times, talking about the Most High. By measure have he measured the times, and by number have he numbered the times. He doeth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. You see that? So again, going back, everything's set up to the year, the month, the hour, the minute, the second on when the Lord gonna do certain things. He don't move and do it before that, and he don't take too long to do it, man. So when we're in a situation and we get saved out, that was the exact time the Lord set it up before the world was to save us out, man. And if he don't save us within the time we expecting to, right? I'm gonna say expecting to. What that mean? Do we cast away the faith? Do we, since you ain't eating 2 days, you gonna say, well, look, the Lord ain't feed me. I don't believe in the prophecies no more. All right, because the servant's supposed to eat. So you gonna do that mean you go to FEMA now and get the chips so you can eat? You gonna go to FEMA? Because the Lord ain't working in your favor, you gonna go to the enemy. And that's, man, we about to get that in this account. Since the Lord ain't worked the time they wanted the Lord to work and save them, they was willing to go to the enemy, man. Right? You see? Let me get one more and I'm gonna get that account. It's a short account. It's in the book of Judith. And Lord willing, this wind out here ain't too loud. Y'all can hear me good. You know. But this is the book of Sirach 38. Let's see. No, Sirach 39. It's the book of Sirach 39, and I'm gonna start at 16. It says, all the works of the Lord are exceeding good, and whatsoever he commandeth shall be accomplished in due season. So the Lord, all the works of the Most High is good, and whatsoever he want, he gonna do it in due season. In other words, when it's the time to do it, man. Right? It says, verse 17, and none may say, what is this? Or wherefore is that? For at time convenient they shall all be sought out. At the time convenient, man. They shall be sought out when it's the right time. The Most High gonna save us, man. You know, the story might be made that much more greater. You know, you get put into a situation, you rushing to get out of it. You know, let it go on a little more. The Lord will put you in a deeper situation, so when he save you, the miracle will be that much more greater, man. That much more greater. You see? And there's many examples in the scriptures. Right? And as always, Daniel in the lions, then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fire, man. You know, put them in up in there just to save them out of there, man. But let me continue. It says, and whatsoever it says, for at time convenient they shall all be sought out. At his commandment the water stood still as in heat, and at the word of his mouth the receptacles of water. At his commandment is done whatsoever pleaseth him, and none can hinder when he will save. So you can't stop the Most High from when he go save. You can't, in your own will, tell the Most High to save you sooner than what he wants to, and you can't tell him, well, wait up a little bit. I want to see my son graduate. You know, I want to see my grandchildren graduate, so wait up on South. No, it can't be sooner or it can't be later, man. It's going to be at the specific time the Heavenly Father wanted to be. Now I want to get this account in Judah. I just wanted to lay some ground on how it's according to the Most High time, man. That's something that we have to remember in Jacob's trouble, because again, we going to feel weak. Yahushua was on the cross and he said, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? Now, he knew the Most High didn't forsake him. He just was weak in that moment and felt it, man. So we going to be weak. Remember, he was in the Garden of Gethsemane before that, sweating blood. Asked the Most High if it was a different way. The Apostle Gabar went into a lesson on that a while back, saying, look, Yahushua had to go through this. It ain't going to be easy for us, man. It ain't going to be easy for us, but we can't let emotions get in the way of us losing faith, losing patience, and tempting the Lord by saying, come on, Lord, save me right now. Now, of course, there's a difference from crying out, praying to the Lord in supplication, right? But there's a whole nother side when you giving the Most High a timeline on when he got to save, man. Now you putting yourself in danger, right? But let me get this. This is Judith. Now, there's a lot to this, and I don't want it to be, super long. But just to give us some background, I'll get straight to the point. But when you go into this, you had Nebuchadnezzar, said the king of the Assyrians, and his the general of his army, which was Holofernes, right? So they was going to war with King Arphaxad. Now Arphaxad called war, so Nebuchadnezzar, he sent to all these surrounding countries or areas and said, come join him in war. Now, when those areas didn't join him in war, he said, okay, since y'all don't want to join me, right, I feel played, now I'm going to go to war with y'all. And Israel was numbered amongst those ones who Nebuchadnezzar wanted to go to war with. So he sent out his Holofernes, which was his one of the top men, second in command in his army, to do these things. Right now, I'm going to skip to the point where they come into the Israelites, right? So this is Judah 3. And let me see. Oh, it might be Judah 4. Let me see. All right, so I'm going to start at Judah 7. Right? Now, this is when Holofernes came with the army. I'm going to start at 1 and I'm going to jump down. It says Judah 7 and 1. It says, the next day, Holofernes commanded all his army and all his people which were come to take his part, that they should remove their camp against Bethulia to take aforehand the ascents of the hill country and to make war against the children of Israel. You see? Now, Israel was at the top of a mountain and they had it shut off good. It was good. Like if you was trying to come up against us, we seen you from a bird's eye view, so we was able to you know, like I said, throw rocks down, defend ourselves, and take heed, man. Right? So they want to war against Israel. Now I'm gonna jump down. It says, verse 4, now the children of Israel, when they saw the multitude of them, they were greatly troubled, and said every one to his neighbor, now will these men lick up the face of the earth, for neither the high mountains nor the valleys nor the hills are able to bear their weight. Then every man took up his weapons of war, and when they had kindled fires upon their towers, they remained and watched all night. But in the second day, Holofernes brought forth all his horsemen in the sight of the children of Israel, which were in Bethulia. And remember, Esau will come in like a flood. Him and his armies go do the same thing, man. Go do the same thing. Now, when the enemies come in, let's read it. Let's read it. I'm getting excited. Salaki. It says, but in the second day, Holofernes brought forth all his horsemen. It says, in the sight of the children of Israel, which were in Bethulia, and viewed the passages up to the city, and came to the fountain of their waters, and took them, and set garrisons of men of war over them, and he himself removed towards his people. So in other words, where Israel got water from, our resources from, they put their military men around that, so we can't go to that no more. They was trying to cut off our resources, man, just like they did in 70 AD, right? When the Roman troops besieged the Jerusalem and cut it off so that none can go out, none can come in. It's the same thing they did, which is the same they go do today, man. In Jacob's trouble, which is martial law, the modern day 70 AD, they gonna cut off the city, no food, no water. Either you gonna have to go to them or just die. That's the same thing that happened right here, man. So it says, then came unto him, listen to this, listen to who helped them out, right? Listen to who helped them out. Watch what's the first nation who helped them out. And it says, then came unto him all the chief of the children of Esau. Esau, man, he always in the mix. Every time Israel back up against the wall, Esau right down the mix. Just like when Babylon and Nebuchadnezzar and them came against to destroy the temple. Esau was right there catching the Israelites that was trying to run away, bringing them back to the Babylonians. And it said in Ezra that they burnt the temple. They always taking part in trying to, in other words, race it, man, trying to bring us to the bottom. So it says, all the children of the chief of Esau and all the governors of the people of Moab and Esau always together. And the captains of the seacoast, and said, this is what they told Holofernes, let our Lord now hear a word, that there be not an overthrow in thine armies. Listen to us, because we got a good idea, so that none of your military die, right? Listen to what they're going to say. For this people of the children of Israel do not trust in their spears, but in the height of the mountains wherein they dwell, because it is not easy to come up to the top of their mountains. You see how we had it built up. It says, now therefore, my Lord, fight not against them in battle array, and there shall not so much as one of thy men, one of thy people perish. And man, Jake, whoever just started cutting grass, so Salaki, if y'all hear that, man, Lord willing, y'all can still hear me though. It says, so he telling them, look, don't go to war with them. It says, but remain in thy camp and keep all the men of thine army, and let thy servants get into their hands the fountain of the water which issue forth of the foot of the mountain. So go take all Israel water. It says, for all the inhabitants of Bethulia have their waters thence, so shall thirst kill them, and they shall give up the city, and we and our people shall go up to the top of the mountains that are near, and will camp upon them to watch that none go out of the city. Just like 70 AD, just like today. They're going to cut off your food resources, so you have to go to FEMA, have to go to the government to get food, to get water, or whatever, shelter. But in order to receive those things, you're going to have to get either the vaccine, but mainly it's going to come down to you having to get the RFID microchip, man. You see? That's going to be, everybody going to be tempted with taking that chip in these times when the cities be shut off. But let's get to the point. Let's jump down to the point. So they cut off their water, and let's, verse 14 says, so they and their wives, talking about the Israelites, and their children shall be consumed with famine, and before the sword come against them, they shall be overthrown in the streets wherein they dwell. So when we do come against them with the sword, they're going to be weak. All right. And it says, thus shalt thou render them an evil reward, because they rebelled and met not thy persons peaceably. And these words pleased Herlophanes and all his servants, and he appointed to do as they had spoken. Right? And as the camp of the children of Ammon departed, and with them 5,000 of the Assyrians, they went, pitched in the valley, and took the waters and the fountains of the waters of the children of Israel. Jumping down, it says 19, then the children of Israel cried unto Yahweh their power, because their heart failed, because they was losing patience, they was losing faith. You see? Their heart failed, they were scared. It says, for all their enemies had compassed them round about, when the enemy come in like a flood. It says, and there was no way to escape out from among them. Right? It says, and verse 21, and the cisterns were empty, and they had not water to drink their fill for one day, for they gave them drink by measure. So they had to drink a little bit. All right, I'm going to save this. Or you drink a little bit, you drink a little bit. We got to save this for tomorrow, man. That's how it's going to be in Jacob's trouble. It says, therefore, their young children were out of heart, and their women and young men fainted for thirst, and fell down in the streets of the city and by the passages of the gates, and there was no longer any strength in them. Then all the people assembled to Ozias and to the chief of the city. So there's all the Israelites coming to the chiefs and the heads and leaders of the city, right? It says, both young men and women and children cried with a loud voice and said before all the elders, God be judged between us and you, for ye have done us great injury, in that ye have not inquired peace of the children of Ashur. So they was like, see, it's y'all fault that we in this situation, because y'all could have went down and required peace. Y'all could have did this and did that, but it's y'all fault we up here starving and got lack of water. So watch what they say. Nah, they back was against the wall. Watch what they say, man. It says, for now we have no helper, but the Most High have sold us into their hands, that we should be thrown down before them with thirst and great destruction. Sound like the ones in the wilderness complaining, scared, a scary report. It says, verse 26, now therefore, listen to this, man. Now therefore, call them unto you. That is Israel talking to the leaders. Now therefore, call them unto you. Right? Let me see where I'm at. I lost my spot. Now therefore, call them unto you, and deliver the whole city for a spoil to the people of Herlophanes and to his army. So they was like, look, go get them and tell them we rather serve them. We rather be their slaves. Now, what's the modern way of bowing down like that and being a slave, you gonna worship the beast, worship the system, and take his mark, man. They was willing and ready to bow down because they were scared, man. Now watch what the rulers of the city gonna say. Salak, I had dropped my page. Now watch what the rulers of the city gonna say. Now I'm starting a little up to get a little background of it, but I'm about to get to the point. It's not a major point. It is a major point, but not a lot of that we gonna read further on this. But it's Judah 7. And it says, 26, now therefore call them unto you and deliver the whole city for a spoil to the people of Holofernes and to all his army. For it is better for us to be made a spoil unto them than to die for thirst. Like they said it in coming out of Egypt. Man, we'd rather stay in Egypt and be slaves than to die out here in the wilderness, Moses. Is Israel a homeborn slave? Our people always want to be slaves, want to be under captivity and oppressed, rather than trusting in the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, so he can deliver us and set us up, man. Right? So it says, for it is better for us to be made a spoil unto them than to die for thirst. For we will be his servants, that our souls may live, and not see death of our infants before our eyes, nor our wives, nor our children to die. These people would have took the chip. These same people who complaining like this and scared, talking about, look, just say we want to be slaves. In the modern time, in their reincarnation, they go take this chip, man. Because look, when the city shut down, no more food, no more water, it's just going to be like that. They're going to want to comply. They're going to want to comply. Like it says, those who are give consent unto them shall be had in derision, man. It's 2nd Ezra 16, talking about when those enemies come in, not sparing none. Those who be in consent unto them, in agreement with them, looking for help. It says you gonna be trodden underfoot by the military troops, man. They're not here for your help. So when you're back against the wall, no food, no drink, things that was written aforetime gonna be written for us for comfort in those days, man. Wisdom and knowledge supposed to be the stability of our times. Going to FEMA and Esau and the government ain't gonna keep you stable in that time, man. Because if you comply to Esau, now you got to deal with the Most High judgment. But if you comply with the Most High, you going to have to deal with Esau judgment. But this is the thing, the Most High can save you out of Esau judgment. Esau can't save you out of the Most High judgment. Out of the Most High judgment, man. Esau can't save himself out of the Most High judgment, man. You see? So this is a good example to show when times get hard, especially in Jacob's trouble. We coming in the hardest it ever gonna be in the earth. When times get hard, don't easily give up and be willing to give over to the government, man. Don't easily give up. It says, we take to witness against you the heaven and the earth and our God and the Lord of our fathers, which punisheth us according to our sins and the sins of our fathers, that he doeth not according as we have said this day. Then was there a great weeping with one consent in the midst of the assembly, and they cried unto Yahweh power with a loud voice. Listen to this. Then said Ozias to them, brethren, be of good courage. Let us endure 5 days, into which space the Lord our God may turn his mercy to us, for he will not forsake us utterly. And if these days pass, and there come no help unto us, I will do according to your word. So this man gave the Most High a timeline of 5 days to save them. He said, look, if the Most High don't save us in 5 days, we gonna consent unto these armies. We gonna go be their slaves. In other words, if the Most High don't feed me in 5 days, I'm going to take this chip and go get some food from FEMA. If the Most High don't give me drink in 5 days, I'm going to take this chip from FEMA, man. If I don't get no shelter or comfort, like we was told as servants in Jacob's trouble, I'm going to go to the government. I'm going to seek out my own help. This not the way to be, man. Just that fast, they faith, they confidence in the Lord went out the door. Patience in the Lord went out the door. Now, again, we reading. This was real life that we was reading. So the point I'm getting at, yes, it's easier said than done. But we got to put on as the elect, not just our actions as the elect, but our speech as the elect too, man. We got to speak it into existence. If you always speaking, well, I don't know what I'm going to do in those times, it's going to be scary. You see, you already putting doubt on yourself, man. There's power in the tongue, man. Speak life. Speak life, man. Not like these people say, well, if God don't save me within these days, then I'm going to go ahead and give ourselves over to the armies. No, man. No, man. Don't put a timeline on the Most High salvation, man. That's what I want to get over on this lesson. Let's read that again. It says, verse 30, then Ozias said to them, brethren, be of good courage. Let us endure 5 days, in which space the Lord our power may turn his mercy towards us, for he will not forsake us utterly. And if these days pass, and there come no help unto us, I will do according to your word. If the Most High don't help us, I'm going to do what y'all said, and I'm going to tell them we want to be their slaves. It says, and he dispersed the people, everyone to their own charge, and they went unto the walls and towers of the city, and sent women and children into their houses, and were very low, brought in the city. Now, this is where Judah about to come into place, because she gonna correct them, man. She gonna correct them. In other words, Judah right here is, spiritually speaking, is symbolic for the elect, man. That bride of Yahushua, that woman, because we telling our people the same thing. That's not the way to think. And she about to tell them that. Judah 8:1. Now at that time, Judah heard thereof. So she heard, it says, and Judah, which was the daughter of Merari, the son of Ox, the son of Joseph, the son of Uzziah, is going through the line she coming from. Right? And I'm going to hop down to the point. The son of Elsiah, the son of Anias, the son of Gideon, the son of Rephaim, the son of Asitho, the son of Eliud, the son of Eliab, the son of Nathaniel, the son of Samuel, the son of Salasdai, the son of Israel. So it went through her line. Going to the point, verse 9. Now she, that she being Judah, we just read. Now she heard the evil words of the people against the governor, that they fainted for lack of water. For Judah had heard all the words that Uzziah had spoken unto them, that he had sworn to deliver the city unto the Assyrians after 5 days. Then, so she heard all of it. It says, then she sent her waiting woman that had the government of all things that she had, to call Ozias and Cabris and Charmis and the ancients of the city. So Judah should like, look, go get these elders who said this. Go get Ozias who talking about he gonna deliver us up after 5 days. Go get all them men. I got something to tell them, right? It says, and they came unto her, and she said unto them, hear me now, O ye governors of the inhabitants of Bethulia, for your words that you have spoken before the people this day are not right. That's not the right way. That's not the right things to tell Israel. Just like us today, starting with the apostles, we telling these other leaders of camps, right? Generals of camps, bishops, you see, chief priests, we telling these other leaders of camps what they telling our people by saying Jacob's trouble is gay. It's no Jacob's trouble, by saying it's okay to take the vaccine, right? It ain't okay to take the vaccine. Telling them don't worry about taking the chip. It ain't gonna deter your salvation. Yes, it is. So we telling them this not the right words to be telling our people, man. Why the enemy about to come in like a flood? Because once they see the enemy, they gonna easily consent unto them, man. Just like they did right here. So it says, and they came unto her, and she said unto them, hear me now, O ye governors of the inhabitants of Bethulia, for your words that you have spoken before the people this day, it says, are not right. It says, touching this oath which you have made and pronounced between the Most High and you, and have promised to deliver the city to our enemies, unless within these days the Lord turn to help you. And now, who are you? So Judah's like, who is you to be telling the Most High when he gonna save you? Who is you to be giving the Most High a timeline? Well, God, you better come save me because you said we was gonna eat. You see? You know, the troops grab you up, you and your wife throwing you into a concentration camp, you know, and you and your wife telling you, like Job's wife, well, I thought the Lord was gonna save us, doing a little neck. I thought the Lord was gonna save us. Huh? What happened to Job 5? Job 5 when he said in 6 troubles, huh? He gonna save us. In 7, he gonna deliver us. What happened to that? I'm about to get the, you see, and now she wanna get the chip. You know? Come on, man. So it says, and now who are you that you have tempted the Most High this day? That's tempting the Most High, man. Because the scripture said in Hebrews 11, let me get that. In Hebrews 11, you see? Unbelief is a form of tempting the Most High. You not believing that he is tempting him. Because you saying, well, I don't believe you is. So you saying you don't believe the Most High is, That's saying he have to prove to you that he is. And proving to you that he is, that's going to make him go out his way and show miracles and power. So now you tempting him, man. You making him go out his way just to show you something because you don't want to believe, man. Let me get this real quick. Hebrews 11:6. Hebrews 11:6, it says, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must, right? For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So when we're in Jacob's trouble, in his hard times, even now in his hard times, if we continue to seek the Lord through those hard times, he's going to reward us, man. But if we stop and lose patience, hey, you know, you see? But going back to this, it says, Judah 8:12, and now who are you that you have tempted the Most High this day and stand instead of the Most High amongst the children of men? Now you calling yourself God since you trying to say what goes. That's why we started with those scriptures at the beginning of the lesson. It's the Most High who say what goes. He already set the time. It says, and now try the Lord Almighty, but you shall never know anything. All right, you trying to tell the Lord something, but you still don't know when he's going to save you. It says, for you cannot find out the depth of the heart of man, neither can you perceive the things that he thinketh right. Men on earth, we can't think what another person thinking in their mind. We could look at a man in their face, but we don't know exactly what each one of us thinking in our minds, right? So Judah told them, neither can you perceive the things that he thinketh. Then how can you search out the Most High that have made all things, all these things, and know of his mind, or comprehend his purpose? Nay, my brethren, provoke not the Lord our power to anger, man. You can't even think what men think on earth. How you gonna think out the mind of the Most High? That's why he said, my thoughts are hiding, his thoughts are hiding our thoughts, man. So we don't know why. Okay, why you didn't save us, Lord? We don't know why. Right? We don't know the story. You see, it says, for if he would not help us within these days, so like it says, for if he would not help us within these 5 days, because remember they gave him 5 days. It says, for if he would not help us within these 5 days, he have power to defend us when he will, man. When he will, he got power to defend us, even after death. Yahweh was crucified. Then he raised from the dead. Then he raised from the dead. The Lord said, the works that he do, we shall do greater. The Lord can have us crucified, then raise us up right back after that. The point is, he can save when he will, man. It ain't no timeline on when the Lord can save us. It says, for if he will not help us within these few days, he have power to defend us when he will, even every day. Or, right, or to destroy us before our enemies. Right, the Lord, that's the thing. He don't have to save you. You saying, well, Lord, in Jacob's trouble, Lord, you said the servant's gonna eat. You said if we do these things, we should never fall, right? But look, you might do that and you might not be able to elect. That's probably why he ain't saving you. And that's scary. That's scary, man. That is scary, you see? But going into the scriptures, it do say the ones who give diligence will never fall. It's do say the ones who gonna have confidence in those days, and that's where we hope we be at, man. Not like these who get a lot of timeline or lose patience and hope. But let's continue, and I'll wrap it up. It says, for he will not help us within these few days. He will have power to deliver us when he will, even every day, or to destroy us before our enemies. That make me think of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, because they had that mindset. When Nebuchadnezzar told them, look, you ain't gonna bow down to my statue. The same thing, they didn't want to bow down to the statue. He said, you don't want to bow down to my statue, huh? Or look, I'm gonna throw you into this fiery furnace. And they said, Nebuchadnezzar said, who is the God that's gonna deliver you? Now what Judah just said, that's technically what Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego them said. Let's get there real quick. This Daniel 3:15, it says, this Nebuchadnezzar speaking to them. It says, now if you be ready, that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, and psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if you worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour, this is their hour of temptation, the same hour into the midst of the fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? Right? Who gonna deliver you from this? This what they said. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. So there's like our God, Yahweh, he gonna deliver us from your judgment, man. But this the thing. But if not, so it's a chance he might not deliver us, and he might allow us to be martyrs and die for his sake, right? It says, but if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we would not serve thy gods, nor worship thy golden image, which thou hast set up. Even if he don't deliver us, Nebuchadnezzar, we still ain't go bow down and worship your image. We rather take the death. This the mindset to have. Not like they said, well, if you don't deliver us, then we gonna give ourselves over to the enemies and be slaves. No. Take the death like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Don't the Lord said, Sirach 4:28, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. If you giving up, he ain't gonna fight for you. Why would he fight for you and you giving up on him and giving up on Yahweh Shai, man? Come on, right? But going back to Judah 8 and 16, it says, do not bind. I'm gonna start at 15 again. For he would not help us. For if he would not help us within these few days, he have power to defend us when he will, even every day, or to destroy us before our enemies. Like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego just said, it says, do not bind the counsels of the Lord our power. When you bind something, you wrapping it up, you close. In other words, don't put the Lord in a box. Don't put the Lord works in a box, man. You see, it says, do not bind the counsels of the Lord our power, for the Most High is not a man that he may be threatened, neither is he as the Son of Man that he should be wavering. Therefore, let us wait. Therefore, let us wait for salvation of him and call upon him to help us, and he will hear our voice if it please him. If it please him, man. 2/3. Remember, Yahweh Shai said, some go say, Lord, Lord, deliver me, save me. He gonna say, who is you? I never knew you. Depart from me. That's because it didn't please him. That's why you probably ain't get delivered, because you were 2/3, right? But our hope is the Lord gonna deliver us. If not, even if he don't, Lord willing, he allows us to take the death, a courageous death, to be rewarded for that death, man, by being lifted up. You see? By being lifted up at the coming of the Lord Yahweh Shai. Right? Let me get this. This is Sirach. Sirach 2 and 10, and I got a few more precepts I want to snag, and I'll start winding it down. The 36 minutes. This is Sirach 2. And I'm gonna start at 1. All right. So this is Sirach 2 and 1. It says, Sirach 2 and 1, it says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. When you prepare, you get something ready in advance, right? So we, in other words, count the cost before we came into this thing and started building. We knew what we was getting ourselves into. It says, and set thy heart aright. Get your mind right. It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. And make not haste in the time of trouble. We just read of people making haste in the time of trouble. When there was a time of trouble, they said, okay, fuck it. 5 days, and if the Lord don't serve us, we gonna go serve these heathens. They made haste in the time of trouble. They was looking, in other words, they was looking for a way out, man. The easy way out, that broad way, they was looking for comfort. It says, and make not haste in the time of trouble, cleave unto him. So in trouble, cleave unto the Most High. Call upon him more. Pray unto him more. Like Yahweh Shai in his trouble. The Garden of Gethsemane, what he did, he prayed the more so. And angels came down to strengthen him, man. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And that's the part. Worrying about the end. I just did a lesson how remembering the latter end will help us endure through the afflictions, man. Because we getting through these things for the reward in the latter end. So whatever we going through, have our mind on that latter end, man. Like Yahweh Shai says in Hebrews 12 and 2, who for the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross and despised the shame, man. But it says, and whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. And that's for all of us. And that account that we just got through the Spirit, that was a good example on people losing patience in the time of trouble, man. They was willing to give themselves over to heathens, man, instead of sticking with the Lord and trusting in him and waiting on him to deliver us from the heathens, man. We're going to get in situations, legal problems, financial problems, demonized, right? Family problems, so on and so forth. But we have to be patient because, again, it's the point why. It says, and again, it don't feel good. It don't feel good when we're going through it, right? But the outcome of it going to be good. It says, be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. This is the point. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Acceptable men. That's the ones who the Lord gonna help. Right? Just like you put gold in fire to purify it and make it perfect, because you might have, you know, impurities on it and certain other metals and particular other, you know, dirt and shit from taking it out the ground. When you put it in fire, all those other metals and particles on that gold burn off, and it comes out of that fire a perfect piece of gold. So as we going through our fire, which is the trials, temptation, like it said in Peter, thinking not strange concerning the fiery trial, which shall try us as though some strange things happen unto us. We about to come into a time where many strange things gonna happen unto us. But it says thinking not strange. Why? Because we was warned aforetime, so we was warned and we was able to prepare ourselves, man. But as we go through this fire, if we take ourselves out, try to escape too soon, we ain't gonna become perfect as the Lord wants us to become perfect. He might be putting us through fire to change something about ourselves, but if we try to get out that lower state too soon, we might not get on why the Lord put us in that situation in the first place. We might not get what he was trying to show us or what he wanted us to change about ourselves, man, right? Or show us about ourselves to increase our faith in him. That's why we're going through the fire, to be made better. And the ones who will go through it and get through it is the elect, which are accepted, man. You see? So when we go through a lower state, oh man, my phone died. We go through a lower state, you know, we shouldn't, it's all good. But let me grab this. But when we go through a lower state, you know, we shouldn't lose our confidence in the Lord, man. Right? But continue to wait on the Most High. Let me get this though. This is Zephaniah. I believe it's Zephaniah, Zechariah. I be getting them mixed up a lot. But this is Zephaniah 3. Yep. And 8, it says, therefore, wait ye upon me. So the Lord said, wait on him. Wait on him to do what? Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So we wait on the Lord, man. We wait on the Lord to avenge us, man. And then he say, surely he will avenge his own elect. That's what we waiting for. He gonna do far more damage than we can do, man. Right? Far more damage than we can do. You know? Not like this. Sirach 2. Sirach 2, back in Sirach 2, and I'm gonna go down. It says in 6, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy and go not aside, lest ye fall. Don't go aside from the Lord's mercy, and you gonna fall. And be like 2:30 says, ye that fear the Lord, believe in him, and your reward shall not fail. Man, don't say, well, I get you a couple days, Lord, or a couple hours to do this and do that. That means you don't believe. If you believe, you don't give him a timeline. You go off when he ready, man. You believe on his moves, right? It says, ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? The answer is nobody. It says, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy and long suffering, very pitiful, forgiveth sins and saveth in the time of affliction. And woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands and the sinners that go both ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore he shall not be defended, man. So if you stop believing, the Lord ain't going to defend you. Then Yahweh said, when I come, shall I find faith on earth? Faith is belief, man. Right? Believe. You still believing. That's why he said, keep my word through patience, man. He going to keep us from our temptation. We kept this truth and believe right? By our actions, by our speech, even through the sufferings, man. But it says, woe unto you that have lost patience. What will you do when the Lord shall visit you, man? You see, what you gonna do when the Lord visits you, right? And I ended off with this. So it's important to keep our confidence and important to keep our faith in the Lord, man. Because once we start questioning the Lord, giving him a timeline, now you tempting the Lord and you playing with fire. Matter of fact, you playing with a consuming fire. You playing with a consuming fire, all right? I just say, shit, play with fire, you get burnt. But this is Hebrews 10, and I'm going to start at 35. It says, cast not away, therefore, your confidence, which have great recompense of reward, man. And what we have confidence in these prophecies, what's written therein, salvation and hope, man. It says, for ye have need of patience. Patience is needful, man. For ye have need of patience, that shall after ye have done the will of the Most High, ye might receive the promise, not before, not during, but after. That's when the reward will come, after, man. You see? After. That's when the reward gonna come. It says, for ye have need of patience, that shall after ye have done the will of the Most High, ye might receive the promise for yet a little while, and he that shall come will come, and will not tarry. Now the just shall live by faith. But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. So if you draw back from the faith of the Lord and have to go to the government for help in the times we about to come into, the Lord ain't got no pleasure in you, because you believe in the government more than you believe in on the Lord. But you remember in Isaiah, I think it's 10 and 20, Isaiah 10 and 20, it says how the elect, the remnant of Israel, will no longer stay upon Egypt, man, which America is a new spiritual Egypt according to Revelation 11 and 8. But we go stay upon the Lord of hosts, man. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. When you go into the word stay is Sha'an. So we're going to go to the Lord for our support and help, man. Right? So it says, for the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. But we, right? But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul, man. Lord willing, we will in the Lord, to the saving of the soul, you see? But, you know, I just want to go through that, man, you know, a little reading, you know, hopped on my spirit to want to touch on that. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rachakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace and blessings to all you Akim out there pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And with that, shalom.